As an actor, I was cast as Judy. I provided her voice and even some of her personality. Being that she is animated, the other half of her acting was done by the animators. And together we brought Judy's performance to life. On Zootopia, a team of over 70 animators worked on every animal, from Nick to Judy to the tallest giraffe and the smallest Arctic shrew. Let's join co-head of animation Tony Smead and animation supervisors Jennifer Hager, Bobby Huth, Kira Latomaki, Chad Sellers, and crowd supervisor Mo Alali as they give us some insight into their research and process of bringing the characters of Zootopia to life.
Hi, guys. So, when was the first time you guys heard of Zootopia, and what kind of drew you to it?
I remember seeing like an image of a tiger in like a sweater turtleneck thing, and it kind of reminded me of Tailspin, which that brought me back to my childhood and immediately engaged me in the project.
I remember hearing about it like just at lunch, just like an all animal movie, and I just thought, oh, that's right up my alley. Like I would love to work on that because that's all I drew as a kid was animals.
What it was for me is the complexity of the world. It was like not just about the animals, but having a world supporting those creatures in a very complex way.
A city built by animals, who walk on their hind legs with pants. Who doesn't want to animate that?
Finally, we gave some animals some pants. Like Donald didn't have pants.
When it comes to us, like we have to, like really breathe life into these animals.
So you have to kind of like look at the animal and almost characterize how the animal moves. So really trying to exaggerate what that animal is.
You had to find something that would help the animal thing kind of come across.
We're trying to figure out how do we make these animals that walk around on 2 legs feel not like a person, but like their animal counterparts that walk around on 4 legs.
People think I'm a kitty, but I'm really just a fox.
The moment that they're on high alert or frightened or something, you really start to see the nose twitch on Hops or the ears go up, and that natural animal instinct just really starts to take over.
On Nick, it was the elbows out. I always felt human. But if you bring the elbows in and keep them in, it looks more like, canine then.
Yeah, because their shoulders are actually on the sides of their body, right?
Yeah.
So I think that just, because they can actually do this, but they can't, lift their arms all around. And like in the beginning of this movie, I was thinking like, oh, we're gonna have just like a C curve for their back. Like that's how we're gonna make them feel animally. So I drew that for Byron and I sent it to him. And I was like, what do you think about this instead of what we had before, which is a very human looking body? And then he sent that drawing back with a squirrel back where the back, the immediate back is just a straight line. And then when it gets to the hips, it kind of like comes out like this. So you get this kind of S curve down the back. Whereas so they don't feel like they're slumped over, but that was like a revelation, the squirrel back.
Assignments?
We'll sit in a sequence meeting with the director. We'll divvy out shots to everybody.
It's funny trying to figure out the animator who would be great for this shot.
I always kind of think of it like Tetris, like you're trying to get like
everything fit.
The exact right person for the exact right shot, and when you get that, you just feel so good. Like this is perfect.
It's great.
I feel great. The directors remind us of like the big picture too, because I think sometimes we get just really focused on just, oh, this is just my little shot, but they'll remind you like, oh, this is what happened in the sequence before, this is what happened after, and then they will get into the minutia of the shot, like all those details.
After grabbing all their research, all the info from the directors, we'll finally go into the computer.
And it's a really fun animation challenge because that's where we really shine, I think, is where something that should be impossible or doesn't exist, and we have to make it believable.
So after issuing, each animator will go back and kind of take their shot. Some of us like to do thumbnail sketches. Other people like to take reference.
Sometimes you just have to look up a video.
Although Chad did a valiant job of being Gazelle, if I remember correctly.
Wow, you are one hot dancer.
His hips don't lie.
I don't think I ever saw
you ever will.
We can
It's out there. Don't look for it, though.
It's better to just kind of get those golden poses in there that just tell you basically what your idea of the acting is.
You're probably going to get a lot of notes, or the directors might have a totally different idea.
And it's just the same way a director would give an actor directions. After seeing the performance, he might get ideas based off of what you brought to the table.
Usually less is more.
I I think both Jennifer and Jason brought such a great breadth to the lines.
Since they filmed them, we could see them do the takes of all the different ways.
Seeing Jennifer in the recording studio, there was like a bouncy quality to her performance. And so a lot of the animators would look at the reference of her and say, okay, we're gonna try to incorporate a lot of her gesturing just because it felt so natural for her character.
This little bundle of energy.
This is Zootopia. Anyone can be anything.
I almost feel like I can see exactly what Jason is doing.
Yeah.
And it translates to Nick.
Old flash, 100-yard dash. Flash, 100-yard dash. Buddy, it's nice to see you.
Hearing his voice come out of that fox just seemed like the perfect match. And you just hear it and you automatically can picture what Nick's doing. He's got that like half-lid smile on his face, you know, and you don't have to do much with him. You can just let the line be what it is. Nick and Jason.
Yeah.
So once you've kind of got your scene approved, then that's really when you go in and put all the juice into it. And that's probably one of the funnest parts is when it's almost there and you're just like, oh, I could add this.
Definitely.
Oh, I could add this little thing.
You could probably honestly polish forever, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's that adage that animators never finish their shots, they only get them taken away.
I guess we just get it approved. A few weeks later.
After a few weeks, a few weeks go by.
And the director will usually see it in the polished phase and say, I give you this my blessing, it's approved, and we all clap.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I had a blast working on this show.
It should have been tougher than it was.
Yeah.
Disney magic.
It's Disney magic.